The ARK. You are a survivor, washed up on the beach in the forest, surrounded by dinosaurs. Your main goal is to survive 100 days without dying, which is a difficult task considering the lifespan of the average player is only one. With all odds against you, fight, tame, and explore on a dangerous island called, well, the island. Before our survivor begins, we have an announcement. This video was inspired by Luke the Notable's Minecraft series. Go check his channel out. Well, anyways, let's get on with it. Okay, so on the first day, it didn't go so well. Right off the bat, I was dying from hypothermia and attacked by a dillo. It was very welcoming. I appreciated it. I didn't really want to die, so I ran. I punched a tree, picked up a rock, and made a pickaxe. The dillo was still chasing me, so I decided to visit a neighboring island. If I were to survive on this island, I would have to make a shelter, so I started off collecting resources. Once I had enough thatch, I started crafting a bunch of foundations. Then I noticed something. There was a really big creature attacking the dinos next to me, and apparently it was winning. I was kind of panicking.
Take it and leave.
This time, I was pretty sure that this place would be the one. I found a really nice spot and found a lot of resources around the place. And as it was becoming night, I built a platform and connected it to these very nice boulders. But while I was working, I was kind of startled by something moving in the dark when I realized it was just an ichthy, or itchy-thie. In the ARK, you can't skip nighttime, so I decided to work through it. Nighttime is dark. This is not edited. It is that dark. And if I didn't have a torch, I'd probably end up in a ditch. Starting off on day 2, I really needed hide, so I went out early. Luckily, there was a dead Sarco on the other side of the gulf, and I went to cop it. I was getting kind of worried, because not just anything can kill a Sarco, but I didn't really care that much at the moment. The great thing was, I found a metal pickaxe inside of it. That was a pretty nice surprise, to be sure. I was quite hungry, and I was sick of eating berries, so I cooked up some of that Sarco. And while I was at it, why don't I make a mortar and pestle to get some narcotics? I needed to spoil the meat quicker, so I split them all in my inventory. This was all because I wanted to tame something, and it had to be worth it. Then I saw the ichthy again, and I decided to rid the world of its foul existence. I had a big struggle trying to kill this thing, and it was depressing. It is depressing to watch me do this. Once I finally got the ichthy, I stripped it of its hide for later. My meat finally spoiled, and I was able to make a very good amount of narcotics. In the morning of day 3, I ate some berries, even though I knew I had meat, and upgraded my base. I even added wooden spikes around the place. I was also pretty keen on the natural resources surrounding my base. When I went out to tame something, I just found a dodo. It was high level, so I whacked it a few times, but I got a bit carried away and hit it while it was knocked out. If you did not know, damage will bring down the taming effectiveness, resulting in a very low level tame. Once it was done, I named it Dong, but as ARK has a dirty mind, it censored it and didn't save. Day 4, it was morning, and I wanted to kill something. I found a trike and planned to shoot it a few times, but I decided to stand very close to it while I was shooting it. I don't know why I did that, but anyways, it charged at me. After it yeeted me across the other side of the lagoon, it was still after me, so I took a few shots at it, but it kept getting closer, and I had to climb on a rock because I was gonna die. I felt pretty safe up there, so I rained down arrows from above. I tried hitting its body and not the head, but as its forehead hitbox spreads across the 7 seas, I couldn't get many in. I hit the arrows on it to collect them, but then I found the dodo, and I killed it. It was satisfying, so I killed some more, and a few more. I don't think one creature survived. When I got back to my base, I believe that the gods were judging me. It was really hot, so I sat in water for the rest of the day. Day 5, I didn't do much of a variety. I made a raft, went to explore, found an egg. I wanted that egg, but a carbo was guarding it, but I stole it and ran away. I ate the delicious egg. while I was taming a tech parasaur. Day 6. While I was bringing my parasaur home, it was having some problems using its brain. Once it finally got up, I spent all day gathering berries to make more narcotics. As it turned to night, I, for some reason, decided to look for raptors. Yeah, that's smart. I went to look for raptors in the night. Instead, luckily, I found an embarrassingly low-level pteranodon and knocked it out. As I was taming, I saw a drop in that very dark forest. It was very creepy, not gonna lie, but I was ready for it. Oh god, man. Somehow, I shot the dillo twice in complete darkness. I don't know how I did that, but my aim was very true right then. The drop gave me decent stuff, I guess. I didn't need a bed or any of the other stuff. I would take the boxes and torches for my raft. On day 7, the pteranodon tamed, and I named him Tyrion. We went on our way down the east coastline when I spotted raptors. I wanted to lure the others away, so I took pot shots at them. I was way too far to actually hit anything, so I went in for a closer target. Once I landed one, I led them out into the water to eliminate them easily. Raptors are not very good swimmers, turns out, so I made very quick work of them. Now that I got the alpha alone, I went for a bola. But this guy started chasing my pteranodon. Once I stopped Tyrion from being the muppet he is, I started knocking the raptor out. Unfortunately, Tyrion came for seconds. I knocked it out. I knocked Tyrion out. It is what it is.
What's wrong with you?
Inland, there was a drop nearby, so I went to cop it. I was feeling a lot more confident here about getting drops, but the loot was useless. I actually did find some good loot, an explorer's note. I spent the rest of the night tending to my raptor and making his saddle. In the morning, I killed a duck, and I got many levels, and I had an idea. I'm just gonna kill everything I see now. I was actually gonna do it. I was gonna shoot him. Stretching my bow. He would have been raptor food right there. On that note, my raptor tamed. As we were heading back home, I saw something unsettling in the water. I tried ignoring the inevitable fate, but then I heard my pteranodon taking damage. I didn't care until I saw my raptor jump off after it. Tyrion I didn't care about, but luckily Randy's a beast, so he destroyed it, and I rewarded him by killing dodos. As we got back from the adventure, I made a forge. Day 9, I started looking for some metal, and I found these decent river rocks. So I went around breaking all of them in a mile radius for a whopping 23 metal. Well, anyways, I finally made a metal hatchet along with a crossbow. I also made a pretty snazzy gateway while I was at it. I looked on my map in search of more metal, but I couldn't see any elevated spots. So I pretty much just went out blind on my raptor. It was kind of creepy where I was, and I didn't really like that, so I just kind of went out of there. Luckily, when I went out of there, I saw a drop, but it was filled with farming equipment.
What is this?
Later in the night, I found a place high in the rocks and decided to search the area for more metal. I didn't find anything aside from an explorer note, which was actually really appreciated. Then I found a whale.
What the heck?
And I think it was beached. I don't know what was going on. But it seemed to be stuck, and I wanted to kill it, but I couldn't take any chances with my raptor. I shot it for a very long time. I think I used about 50 arrows on this guy. I honestly expected more, but it was still tanky. One tanky whale. Nearing day 10, I was still at it. And my arrows were getting very low, but I guess so was the whale.
That looks bloody, man.
A strange thing happened. I mean, it is ARK, but this was really strange. This gift from Jesus himself was gonna drop a lot of needed hide and spoiled meat. While I checked its inventory for treasures, I noticed it swallowed my raptor, and it was underwater.
Are you just under there, man?
I was really scared that my raptor might die, so I cut open its gigantic mouth, which took an extensive amount of time, might I add. to scoop them out. Then getting back, I noticed a Bronto near my base. Now, I didn't want none of that, so I lured it out into the ocean to die to sharks. Okay, day 11, I plan to truly find a metal node and take it home in a container on my raft. I also took Dong to use as a shield if necessary. As I was exploring, I realized the map wasn't loading in. The only way to fix this, from what I know, is to leave and join back in, I guess. There's a cool island I wanted to check out, but first I spotted an explorer's node. As I arrived, I didn't actually see any danger, which is kind of unusual since this game is ARK. I went up top of the island where I found a lot of metal. And I mean a lot of metal. I made a forge and began smelting. I also spotted an ankylode that could aid me in my ventures for ingots. Once knocked out, I stuffed berries in him and made a smithy. I checked on him in the night where I glitched my mouse. I don't know how it got stuck, but I guess it did so. I couldn't move it and I didn't know how to fix it, so I just did the most reasonable thing and I shut off my PC. Unfortunately, I lost a whole day of progress, but I just did the exact same thing. Ooh. On day 12, I went and broke every single metal node on that island. I didn't really have a use for this guy at my home base because there were no metal rocks, so I just kind of left him here. I don't think I looked back at him once. The only time I did look back was because the whale's cousin wanted revenge on me. Getting back, I finished the defenses around my base, and it was getting pretty secure, so I liked it. After smelting all the metal, I decided to make a gun, so I made some gunpowder. I still needed to wait for everything to craft and smelt, so I decided to check out this green drop in the forest, where a pago stole my parachute.
No, my parachute.
Once I claimed it back, another pago stole my parachute. I don't like these things. Luckily, the drop was worth it. In the morning of day 13, I finally crafted my gun and started making ammo. I don't want to talk about that.
No, not again.
Or that.
Okay.
And then I just kind of completely forgot about it. I just left it there. I went looking for a high-level Pteranodon because I might have executed my other one. It was a reasonable decision. It was horrible. It had 200 health at most. I saw a level 40 and I decided that's pretty good. Then I actually spotted a 108. And that's very good. He was really easy to knock out and his stats were good, so that was just an all-in-all great team. I went to bring my raptor over when an ichthy stole all my narcotics. I killed them all. Every last one of them. They're like animals. So I slaughtered them like animals. I was also a beast at it too. By night, I had to make narcotics from scratch. In the morning of day 14, I spotted some raptors really close by, which is not fun. I lured them over and killed them very easily. They can't beat my 130 raptor. I also saw a diplo, and I wanted to kill it for its prime meat. The thing about diplos is that they don't actually do any damage, and always come for seconds. Be careful near edges with these guys though. Bringing this guy home, I found out he was a bit hyperactive. I had to do the opposite and sit in my shade pool. To get a Pteranodon saddle, you need lots of chitin or keratin. So I went around killing lots of turtles.
No!
The pickaxe gets the most, but my raptor ate one of them, so I had to find 2 extras. Thank you, Randy. Day 15, I achieved my first flight and decided to kill everything in sight, except for those aloes they gave me a fright. An explorer's note, to my delight. I got lots of levels, which was more than alright, and I went back to my base when it became night. I watched Horton Hears a Who, don't judge me. I also found out I needed crystals for a fabricator. Day 16. I went out looking for crystals. They're usually around mountains, so I checked every place I could see. I was able to find them quicker than I thought. When I crafted the fabricator, I put it against my nice rock. Sadly, I accidentally got my mouse stuck again, but I found out how to fix it. You have to access the inventory of something to move your mouse again. It's weird, but I guess it works. But then I realized that I couldn't open my fabricator. I thought it was because of the rock, so I had to decide. Obviously, I chose the fabricator to destroy it. Now all I needed was a bit of oil to recraft it, and luckily I found a trilobite really close to my base. I placed it farther away from the rock, just in case. Sometimes things you craft just can't be accessed because they're glitched, so just keep that in mind. Day 17, I was preparing to tame a Rex or a Spino. Now I know, I didn't even tame a Carno or an Aloe, but I had a great flyer now. I broke rocks until nightfall to make stone gateways, and I got a really nice amount of narcotics. On day 18, I departed when it was light and looked around the major rivers, but everything was low level. Honestly, I picked the hardest difficulty and all I see is rubbish. Bruh. Finally, I think after 15 dinos, I found an albino 112 Rex. I liked that. I put my gates right in front of him and put a large bear trap at the end. When he walks in, I'll just close him off. I went to lure him over when I found out that he fell in a ditch. I thought it was completely over, but then he climbed up a vertical wall. Well, anyways, I landed my bird, and dinos cannot resist him when they land. He came right to me, and I locked him in. I literally spent the whole rest of the evening shooting this guy in the head. I had to use 100 arrows to knock him out. Oh my god. I mean, wait, what was I expecting? Why did I write that? It's a freaking Rex and it's 112. The next morning, he went to sleep and I stuffed meat into him. Regular wasn't gonna do it, so I went out for prime. I couldn't get much since the only opportunities I had were to scavenge like a vulture. Pteranodons are not that powerful, but they are quick. At the end of the night, he was tamed, but I didn't know what to name him. I consulted Dododex for the answer, but I kinda regretted it. Bruh. They weren't the best, so I just chose my own. On day 20, I instructed Krennic to kill everything in sight, and he most definitely did. I got many trophies and I kept every one of them. I was gonna need them for the boss fight. It took all day getting him back. Day 21, I went on an Explorer No run to gain the engram for a Rex. I found that many notes were around drops, but this drop in particular I did not like. I might just check near all... Oh my god. Whoa! Get me on the map. Buddy? Please fight back at least now. That guy's good. Oh my god. So that's one way to level up quicker. Oh my god. Well, anyways, I spent the evening finishing the XP run. Day 22, in the morning, I got the Rex Saddle engram and started leveling up Krennic. You honestly level up breaking trees quicker than actually killing at the beginning. I had to stop my journey because I heard a monkey. Monkey? Monkey. It was such a beautiful creature that I aspired to become Le Monkey. Of course I named it Harambe, but I continued my greedy conquest and went to vanquish these aloes. They actually started to scare me, but then I killed all of them in one swift strike. Well, I'd say that was a successful day of leveling this guy up. In the night, I found a supply drop and got a gun from it. Luckily, I already had ammo for that because of my incident. Okay, on day 23, I bought all of the building engrams I needed because I was gonna make an actual base. But first, I would need a beaver, and I had a system for that. Step 1, make narcotics. Step 2, make flak armor. Step 3, make myself look cool. Step 4, sit in darkness. Step 5, wait for day 24 to come. Step 6, locate the beaver. Step 7, knock it out. Step 8, steal its cementing base. Step 9, remove any threats. Step 10, finish taming. After that, I went out to get more metal to make the beaver saddle on Herbivore Island. Day 25. Okay, apparently none of the metal respawned and I only got a bit. I felt feeling hungry for more, so I scavenged for metal in the river rocks around the coast. Day 26. Once I made some ingots, I crafted the saddle and broke every tree in the area. Then I got curious and decided to try climbing up a vertical wall as Krennic once did, and I was victorious. Now that I had all my resources, I cleared out these pesky rocks around the platform. Day 27 is just me getting confused about foundations. You can't blame me, this game is so weird. For God's sake. Look at that. What is that? I didn't do much that day. Day 28. I finally got some sort of trick down to make the platform extend. I don't really know how that worked, but anyways, enjoy a time lapse of me building my house for 4 days. We interrupt this program to give you The Joy of Painting, starring Bob Rossick. Hi everyone, I'm glad you could join me. Today we're gonna do a wonderful little painting that I really think you're gonna enjoy. I'll tell you what, we'll do a nice traditional painting with mountains. No, maybe a nice little lake, who knows. Now we're gonna run the colors across the screen, but let's take our 2-inch brush and start off with some yellowish glow in the sky. When you're painting, make sure to keep it linear. We don't want our sky looking like a picnic table just yet. Or maybe you do. Do what feels best. There! Today feels like a good day to be alive. Shoot, every day's a good day to be alive, so let's make the sky jolly. And add some crimson. Oh, what the heck, let's make a big old reflection of it down in the water below. Just enjoy yourself. That's the joy of painting. There! Now let's go crazy, because today is a crazy day. Let's add some phthalo blue for the rest of the sky. Now this is a beautiful, bold little painting. He just wants to express himself. Let's make the reflection a thicker blue, because the reflection is always darker than the real thing. Just blend it all together. Oh, so pretty. There! Oh, would you look at that? It's already day 32. Time flies when you're having fun. Now for the magic. Let's put us a little mountain up there. Get your midnight black and just carve. Find where those mountains live, because they're loving it up there. Now let's grab this color and pull it down to finish the darkness. Now let's put some snow on that mountain. Grab your titanium whites and just cover that right side. Don't go overboard, because we still want some of that darkness. There! Let's just put a little indication of a shadow using our sky blue. Just a few little shadows all over the place to bring it alive. Very gentle though. We still want to keep some darkness in that mountain. There. Maybe there's even a bit of a shadow jolting out at the bottom. There. Now okay, let's make some trees along this lake, because you can't have a lake without some trees. Or maybe you do. I just like trees. Let's make them taller and thicker as we go to the sides. There. Now there. Let's make a little green highlight in one of the trees. I want there to be a large, magnificent tree with friends all around the place, so let's add them. Remember to keep the strokes just a bit linear to keep it from being all over the place. There! Now how about there's a little path in the dark, just to round off our painting. What the heck, let's highlight all the trees around the place. Let's start off with dark green. Don't get rid of all that black, that's where the magic is. You can't have light without dark, otherwise it wouldn't be special. There! Let's make a water line. Now this is important to keep it linear and really carve it in. And finally, let's make some bushes. Here we have our finished painting. I hope you enjoyed. Happy painting. And God bless my friend. The rest of day 32, I went out to tame an RG. I only knew one place where they were, and let me tell you, it was dangerous there. Not to mention cold. I saw a high-level RG and brought it back to the warmth. I tried getting it into the trap, but that proved to be very difficult. Luckily, it was an idiot and glued itself to the wall of the trap. Unluckily, on day 33, it flew way up the mountain where it was cold, and it didn't matter anyways because I lost it after that. I brought another one over, but I nearly died from the cold this time, so I had to stop for a bit. I tried the same trap, but with my new method of staying in the trap myself. This was really difficult, and these RGs were not cooperating. Well anyways, he started running away, and I tried to knock him out, but then he got away by flying over the ocean. What an annoying bird. It could die for all I care because it was not coming back without drowning. I killed it. I then found a level 16 and just kinda rolled with it. I didn't care at all anymore.
Brett. 5?
You literally needed 5? I also found a level 40, but it had a low level mate. So you know what I did. I went all out in aerial warfare. I finally got its partner and started knocking it out. Then of course it ran off into the ocean, never to be seen again. Day 34. With my new RG, I went to tame a new level 72 that just spawned in. I let it attack my birds while I got knocked out. It had pretty good stats. But there was an alpha raptor nearby, so I wanted my RG to tame quickly. I was at a prime, so I went to take out these saber-tooths, but I gave up. I went back to my RGs when the saber-tooths chased me from across the entire valley and killed my new RG. I went home depressed and owning a moldy milk-looking bird. Day 35, I got home and made Moldface's saddle and went on a little XP run. Day 36, I placed a generator and did nothing for the rest of the day. I was too bummed out to do anything after spending 2 hours killing 3 great birds and going home with a fungus brain. Day 37, I did some stuff. I made a ton of spark powder, then a lot of gunpowder, then a lot of narcotics, and then trank darts. I also wanted to have some fun, so I took out my pistol with the unintentional ammo I made to wreak havoc on the wildlife. It was alright, not too powerful. Then I saw a nice looking carno and decided to kill it. It slowly pushed my bird into the water and attacked me. Holy Jesus, this was not the way I wanted to go out. So I held up my shield until Mosscake realized it was time to help me. Oh my goodness, this bird could have ended my life then and there if it hadn't helped. And we teamed up and destroyed its disgusting existence. In the evening, I made some more trank darts, to a total of 50 I think. The next day, I went out to get more metal where I was attacked by a rabid goose. What are you doing?
Oh, Jesus!
I also wanted a Dodic to aid me when I was getting rocks, so I picked a wild one. I also saw some Brontos and began slaughtering them for the trophies. And then another strange thing happened. Whoa! Oh! Don't you run away. Jesus Christ, man. Day 39, I brought the Dodic home, but while I was doing so, I saw a blue drop. There was a Pago, so I killed it, and then got an apprentice Dodic saddle. But then a Pago stole my parachutes. Through my shield, might I add. And then the parachutes just disappeared from existence. They just didn't want to be here anymore. I checked my RG, I checked my inventory, I checked the Pago, and I didn't see anything. Anyways, I tamed the Dodic and made the expensive saddle. But then I had a realization. Honestly, don't know why I did that. Why would I do that? Why would I make an expensive saddle for a Dodic? Why? And I actually found the culprit for my missing parachutes. I don't know if I should feel glad or betrayed. On day 40, I slapped some rocks with my Dodic, but then I found out that it slaps them on its own. I made a landing platform out of those rocks and parked my birds on there. And then I went to look for Rexies. Ooh. Oh wait, it's a male. Anyways, enjoy a 2-hour session of me mindlessly going around the map. Day 43, I actually found a female Rex. The level was trash, but it was the best I've seen so far. I also noticed that she was angry. This was the most aggressive and ferocious dinosaur I've ever seen. It was accustomed to danger. If I landed right next to her, she would be too busy eating something to notice me. After an eternity, I got her near the trap. She seemed wary at first, but entered it willingly. In ARK, you don't trap Rex. Rex traps you. Same for narcotics. Well, all I did was wait for this Rex to tame all night. Thank God it's still in the trap. I spent the night making spoiled meat. On day 44, I sniped a raptor with my only bullet and finished taming my Rex. I named her Olga, killed a number of things, and headed back before dark. I put just a bit of my spoiled meat in my mortar and pestle and made my landing platform a hatchery. I grabbed a Rex egg and began hatching it, but I got bored and went to this green drop. The loot was garbage. The mating and hatching rates were appallingly slow, so I boosted them a bit, for content's sake, of course. I was still able to do a lot of random stuff waiting for this egg to hatch. Once it did hatch, I named it Zadia. Seeing that there was still light in the sky, I went out to get metal, but then I found an Alpha Rex uncomfortably close to my base. Anyway, I spent the night collecting my metal. The next day I got all that I wanted and went back home. I made an electrical circuit and lights around the place. Then, waiting for nighttime, I fricked my Rexes and got a doo-doo mail. Let's just say I executed it. After my homicide, I remembered that I wanted to turn on my lights. The breath of relief from the darkness was so satisfying. In the morning, I made many pistol bullets, but with my new lights, I would need more gasoline, and I would need scuba gear to get more, and I would need silica pearls to get more of that. So I went out for silica pearls. The only place I knew of was on the other side of the map, which was fun. There was also a heat wave, which let me cross over the snow biome for a visit. That was pretty cool, and I was able to kill a few penguins. Sadly, the heat wave left, and I had to return home. Once I got there, the lights just made me way too happy. I then made my scuba gear, but then the next day I wanted cryopods because of the polymer I got from the penguins. So I made them in a drop and I felt rich. Anyways, I went scuba diving and I looked like a boss. I was able to get so much oil and it was great. Everything was just going so well and I think that's enough oil for today. I don't know why I did this, but I went into the forest in the rain, at sunset, on a low dino. But anyways, I went to conquer this Troodon-filled mess. Then I spotted something. Was that a cave? Of course, I went to investigate and went as slow as I could. As saying this place was creepy is the understatement of the year. I saw the first threat, a scorpion. I shot it many times, and there goes 1/5 of my ammo. I shot another, but things just kept coming, so I just kept shooting. I got a rather big pile of carcasses at the end of that. I saw a pit of certain death, so I went the other direction. Unluckily, there were stealthy spiders that webbed me. Hell no. This was not good. Not even remotely good. They just kept pinning me to the wall. As my timer was going down, I broke free and ran the hell out of that one. I went back just to see if there were any more threats, and there were a few. So I noped out of there for good. Apparently it was day 49, so I returned with my raptor. He was able to take out spiders very easily, but the only problem was the torpor. Actually, another problem was the arthropleura. They destroy your armor. My armor? How's my armor? Oh, frick. Holy hell. I took mine off because they really only do damage to the armor. Well, after a grind and a half later, I collected the artifact of the hunter and ran out of there as quick as I could. It was day 50 when I emerged. I repaired my armor, made another set, made more ammo, and crafted a grill for easy food. Day 51, I cryoed Randy and headed out to another cave. This cave was next to the volcano. Immediately, I knew it was going to be very difficult. I swapped to my expendable armor and I was ready. But then there were bats. As I did not want rabies, I ran out to the entrance, but they followed me. I defeated them, but then I looked at my health. One thing is for sure, this is not a place for a raptor. Even the snakes were hard to kill. To top it off, I heard the slight growl of a megalosaurus. If you don't know what that is, don't find out. After every minor battle, I had to force feed my dino the remains of my foes to regenerate. That's a mouthful. Of course, there were more bats. I really love bats. Turns out there were also acrobatic centipedes swinging from the ceiling.
Okay, then.
Caves are very fun and not at all stressful. Then then I got attacked by the most powerful bats ever. Oh, bad word. Sorry. The stress was getting to me, and I fully went out of the cave to rest. But then the bats followed. I love bats so much. Once regenerated, I returned and claimed a fur cap. After a while, I saw the artifact. The only issue was that there was a pit, and many bats to knock me in. After one honker of a chonker of time, I exacted my revenge on these orphan vigilantes. Then I realized the bottomless pit was just water. Well, it was day 52 when I resurfaced. I put my artifacts of the hunter and clever away and went to check the obelisk for requirements. I arrived in the morning and I was surprised by very cheap tributes. Now that was lucky that I got not one, but two of the artifacts for the broodmother. As the day was still somewhat young, I brought my Rex out to get venom and tame a berry. I only found one, but it was a bad level, so I deleted it. The sun was disappearing, so I went home. During the night, I bred the Rexes again, and these guys finally hatched. I kept one and killed the atrocious 105. I was just killing everything inside of the swamp, because as you know, anything alive will snatch you and eat you alive. Here's a demonstration. Yeah, just avoid the swamp, especially if the fog is thicker than Moto. I collected venom and kept searching for a berry. When I found a good one, I was actually really unprepared and I only had some bear traps, but I tried it out anyways. Might I just say, ARK needs to fix the berry AI. This guy is such a strange creature. Not attacking, running around like some deranged deer. I don't even know. After a bit, the watermelon dino ran off into the forest. The hunt was on. I finally caught up with it, but I only got one good shot in. This time I lost it for good. To make the night go quicker, I leveled up my Rex some. By morning, the hunt resumed. I found another, but it was actual Rey Skywalker, so I obliterated it. I also found Finn's character treatment, so I brought an end to its suffering. I went home before dark to properly prepare for the next day. I also instructed my new Rex to kill the old and frail Olga. 56, I headed out on my RG this time. I was killing one horrendous berry when I got attacked. I don't know why nothing did any damage, but I'm glad that they didn't. Well, anyways, I was looking around and guess who I found? I removed any threats except for those bugs, which my degenerate hawk kept running away from. I swear, my dinos are gonna be the death of me. I shot my berry, but I guess there was still torpor in its system, so it ran. Or the AI is imbecilic, either way. I just kept following it around until it knocked out. I stuffed Prime into him until I got hit by bugs. And the bugs also hit the berry. Thank you so much. And now Mint over here is acting like a half-witted moron. You dingus. Berries don't eat Prime. They eat fish meat. And now it's gonna lose a third of the taming levels because I don't see any salmon to get Prime fish. My berry tamed and I named her Beatrice. I went around killing everything I saw because I would need some upgrades for those cave runs. Then I got attacked by a Microraptor, which was a very fun experience. Then I got attacked by another Microraptor, which was not so fun. My berry was low, and this place was not fun, so we left for home. I had to repair all my armor after that one. Next day, I tried out the berry in safer waters, and oh boy was she quick. She has a lot of stamina and gets a boost every time she jumps. Beatrice is just better than Randy in every way. I also sacrificed a child for levels, along with a Diplo with no skeletal structure.
Okay, that's a...
I went into the cave next to my house just because I felt like it, and that was an easy clap. I killed many things at once, but as always, caves terrify me.
Okay. Okay then.
Just why do they have to fall from the ceilings? In the night, I got rid of my campfires for air conditioners. Day 59, I made the platform look real snazzy, placed my conditioners, and made a lamp. After that, I needed metal, so I went out to get some. When I got back, I wasn't a big fan of the spikes anymore, so I removed them. In the morning, I started working on a fence and made a new AC. Well, basically, I just updated my base and went around doing random stuff whenever. By the way, that could have been the end of the series. Then on day 66, I arrived at the artifact of the Massive where Krennic stayed. The only thing I knew about this cave was that there were jumps, so of course I brought parachutes. I slowly went down the ramp, but it was very hot.
It is burning in here, Jesus Christ.
Then I found some threats. Okay, one thing about bats, if you see about 10, you should run. You'll get rabies in 1 second. Unlimited power! Okay, my berry was taking a lot of damage, so I took a break from it. I returned quickly, as the bats are no match for the power of the Force. Lava pits were everywhere, but luckily I had the high ground. This cave was perfect for Sith rituals. Then I saw something. Unluckily, there was a lava pit and a jump. And, you know how that goes. Instead, I went out of the sinister cave to make thatch foundations. I started making the bridge and it seemed to work. But on online servers, building in caves is not always enabled, so try to stick to parachutes if you need to, unless you're a mad lad. I was fighting a few bats when I got rabies. Might I add, if you don't have 200 health or more, kiss your world goodbye. I know knocking yourself out counters some effects, but not with diseases, I don't think. I had to leave the cave because I was getting low. I returned and bridged my way to the artifact. As I was minding my own business, Devil Spawn ambushed me. My dearest bats, go to hell. As I got to the platform, I warily looked around for any dangers.
This artifact will be a fine addition to my collection. That was horrible, I apologize.
Get me out of this cave. Then I ran out of there. Although this place is glamorous, it's still an oven, so I couldn't stay. Well, as I got out, it was day 67, although it was 67 earlier, but I forgot to edit the counter. As I was above my base, I jumped off my mount in majestic fashion. Touching down, I saw that my new Rex didn't regenerate any health. I don't get it. 68, I just spent raising Rexies. Day 69. I went looking for crystals when I saw a faint hint of a hole. It was a cave, alright, and although it's a magnificent day, I would rather not die on day 69. I made some more lights for my taming platform, and now breeding will be much easier since I can see. Day 70, I was ready to sacrifice newborns for levels.
I'm sorry, little one.
On the 71st day, I went to look for any good drops from my loot. That's not right. I was grateful that it was a heat wave, and there was a purple drop touching down. Might I just say, the purple on the snow is gorgeous. There were Peppa Pigs and dogs, so I lured them away for another Dodic saddle. I might just execute my Dodic in spite of this game. There also lived a Giga on the North Mountain. Oh, I was totally gonna tame that. The next day, I aligned my Rexies in an efficient taming structure. Then, I appreciated my progress. I noticed that my Rexies needed 25 minutes to be able to tame at the same time, so I just went AFK. Yes, that was almost double the time, but I don't care. I placed all the eggs in the hatchery, and that is a lot of eggs. I picked a select few, and then the immolation began.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Run.
In the morning, I realized my Rexies were in a famine, so I went to get food. Imprinting was going well until she asked for kibble. To fix their needs, all you gotta do is cryopod them. See? Good as new. Well, I was interested in a boss fight, so... Now this will not be an easy task. But our journey begins. With 15 or so Rexes, we march to battle.
Get this bloody leech off me, man. Get off!
The darkness enriched our rate. Wait, what? Enriched our rate? Why did I write that? As we hailed a storm with every step. The rain washed us of our fears as we descended into the tribute. This was it. The moment that all of our progress has led to. The arena. The arena. Well, that's better. A little bit cringy, but I don't. There she was, the beastie. Mother of all spiders. Queen of death. God of the wicked. Arachnids. Phobia. The brood mother. Yeah, I like that. I like that. We defeated her, with soldiers half dead, some even more. But at the end of the day, we won. And showed ourselves that there's nothing to be afraid of. Apart from that, we made it this far. I went back to my base, holding pride in my heart. All this work. Oh wait, we still have 20 days left. Anyways, on day 82, I got ready to tame that Giga we saw earlier. I made it to the mountain where I saw her. My bird was terrified, and rightfully so. This thing can one-shot me. I made the trap out of the stone gateways, but you'll see soon enough that was a bad idea. I hit her, but she didn't seem to care. So I tried again, and that caught her attention. Once she got in the trap, I placed the gates to cage her in, but I failed.
Oh, crap.
And then Fungus Brain went to attack the Giga.
Mince!
Well, the Giga was in, and I brought my bird up the hill.
Holy shit. I mean, shoot.
Then I shot her a few times. It was all going well until she broke out of the trap.
Oh, no. How'd it break through, bruh?
In a desperate attempt, I kept trying to knock her out, but I never got close.
No way! No way!
So I gave up. Until I didn't. I spent day 84 to 87 making better gear, and then there she was.
This is Giganato.
This time, I was gonna have a metal trap. Gigas are unable to even scratch metal, so there's no way I can mess this up. The next step was to lure this Giga into it, but I guess that was difficult.
Oh, it fell down there. And go back up the hill. Because that's what dinos always do. They just go back up to the spot where they used to be. Stand is... I'm back as an old guy. Just sitting on that bench for God knows how long. Well, his neighbor in Winter Soldier. Are you gonna move? Something like that. Oh, don't kill me! What are you doing, man? Well, it's not like I can ever kill this dude, so... Are you okay? Whoa. Now it wants me. Or not. Pull up. What? You make me confused.
Well, it became dark, so I took a break until morning.
Get through another day. Why do the stars like orange? And why do they get more orange when I turn? See this? Look how orange that looks. But now, it's less orange. Don't fly over the trap, please. What? Please! Go into it!
Well, after a long time of this Giga being oblivious, I finally got her in. And then I unloaded hundreds of arrows into her. Once knocked out, I put the taming supplies in her inventory and waited for a very long time. I had to get more prime meat, but do not leave your Giga alone for long. Once she finally tamed, I named her Giselle, cryoed her, and packed all the gates away. Now I have a rage monster that can turn on me. I took her out for a spin, and the AoE was insane, but Giselle's stamina was straight out of the garbage. After a great day of slowly regenning stam, I headed back to my base, and specifically put her far away. I don't know how rage works, but better be safe. Well, on day 91, I made some more cryopods and shipped my Rexes to the obelisk for the beta broodmother. As I was putting my dinos down, I did something stupid. Now the only thing I could do was wait for the only male to wake up. I spent the morning of day 92 arranging and regenning my Rexies. When Krennic woke up, I got a lot of eggs. I spent a long time breeding, raising, and leveling these guys. I was having issues with the heat here, and the eggs regularly did not hatch. But you can put the eggs directly on an otter to regulate it a bit. I was getting a lot done every day, and it was going well. Day 96, I shipped out and went to the artifacts again. I also took this opportunity to get some more RG talons, which I needed. This cave was so fun to come back to. Cherished memories. It was day 98, so close to the end. I aligned my days of work around the circle. I took a head count, as I didn't want to glitch anything. Yep. Exactly 20, including auto.
I'm taking auto for good luck.
We've done this before, but the stakes have risen by 2. But this was the end of the series, and the end of 70 hours of work. And I'm looking at it. I knew what I was doing, but did I really know what I was doing?
What?
No, actually, I unplugged my PC to make sure that the game didn't save.
I did it! I did it! I did it! I did it! Oh my god, oh my god. Okay. You are horrible luck.
After my intense shock, I started the boss fight again, but I ditched the Rex and the Otter to make sure that wouldn't happen again. If this doesn't work, I don't know what to do. And if it does, will I actually survive it again?
Go for the bloody thing. Go for the... Go for the broodmother. Go. Malachite? No, not Malachite.
I don't know what to say other than just we won. What else can I say other than all our work was for something and not nothing? I packed up a few of the Rexes before it was time to go home. I landed my bird and popped Eclipse down. All of this progress, this world, felt like such an accomplishment. But then hours of grinding later, only now am I able to notice how beautiful this game is. And yes, I am planning on doing 200 days, so consider subscribing. But if YouTube doesn't recommend this video at all, I am gonna lose it. Oh, I also do Star Wars videos, you should check them out.